So throughout the show, if you have a featured show and you want to hop in the box and plug your show, we're kind of doing it as like a little promotional thing because it's not just me that has a feature show. There's tons of people that have one. Thank you for being here for the more support. Okay, again, as I told you guys, I won't be able to say hi to everyone as you're coming in, but I do thank you guys for being here. So today's show, we're going to be talking about ways to save money when planning your big day. So first, I'm going to see who all is in here. If you're in the stream, put a emoji in the comments that has to do with event planning and wedding planning. You can do flowers, you can do hearts, you can do a wedding ring, confetti, champagne, whatever gifts you want. Whatever emoji you want. But also throughout the show, anytime that you're having a great time, there's a lot of gifts that are actually party themed, right? We got flowers, we got hearts, we have birthday cakes, we have confetti, we have champagne, balloons, any of those gifts. So if you want to send gifts, I would appreciate you sending some gifts related to the actual show, right? Okay. So, wow. All right. So roses, facts, perfect. Those are perfect for the wedding, for the show. Okay, so let's talk about ways to save money on your big day. If I were to say to you, hey, I need to cut my budget. I'm spending way too much, not paper plates. I'm spending way too much money. I don't need to spend as much money as I'm spending. How can I cut the budget? I hear that question a lot actually. So I will tell you guys a couple of ways that you can save money. And you may have thought about this before, you may not have thought about this before. So the biggest way to save money, the number one way to save money when you're planning a wedding is an off-season date, right? So by off-season, I mean a date that's the least popular when it comes to an event. So most weddings, I'll ask you guys this question. What month do you think most brides get married in? Any guesses? June, April, June, July, December, May, June, January. Whoever said April, listen, I'm not going to hold you. April is is a month that I don't really typically plan many weddings at all. In fact, if you think of the theme baby shower, literally because a lot of people plan baby showers in April because it's always raining. It's not a pretty time of the year depending on where you are, but it's not usually like really good weather. So definitely most people go for June and a lot of people go for fall. Fall is like the go-to for weddings because the weather is super, super nice. So when thinking about planning a wedding, you should think about months that people don't typically plan weddings in, which would definitely be December and definitely will be January. The reasons those 2 months are not typically used is because that's actually when most brides become engaged. So most brides are going to get engaged between between Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day. So we consider that like bridal season. Like that's when they're all going to get engaged. It's the holidays. I don't mean this in the wrong way, guys, but guys get a little lazy and they're not as creative. They start thinking about buying gifts and they think, oh, I'll just buy a ring. So that's when most people get engaged. So if you're planning a wedding and you want to save money, contact the venue that you want to have it in and ask, do you have availability in December? Because Thanksgiving just ended. People are getting ready for the new year. They're getting ready for Christmas. And most people just aren't planning weddings in December. A lot of venues do offer huge discounts in December, sometimes as much as 50% off. So that's a little tip. Also, another tip is think of days outside of Saturday. Most weddings are Saturdays, right? But if you consider a Friday evening wedding or even a Sunday wedding, another way to save half the budget that you're going to spend. A lot of venues are not booked on those days, and they will offer you like a 0.5% discount. So that's a good tip. December, maybe Fat Friday, or maybe Sunday. So would any of you consider getting married on a Friday or a Sunday? Or have you ever thought about that? Yes. Okay. Now what's your ring size? Okay, so that's the first tip. Just think of something that's not traditional. Get it out of your brain that you have to get married on a Saturday, that you have to pick a huge venue that's in the fall or in the summer months. You don't have to necessarily do that. Okay. The next way of saving money is make your guest list VIP. you're probably thinking VIP like the app, green, purple. No, 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 not like that. Not like the app VIP, but particularly VIP as in the people that are really, really close and important to you. So instead of just picking everyone that you went to high school with, so it's okay. Sometimes brides get married, right? And they say, I'm going to pick 50 people. My fiance is going to pick 50 people. My mom's going to pick 50 people. His mom's going to, it's like, listen, seriously. Everybody that your mom's friends with does not have to be at the wedding. Everybody that you went to high school with doesn't have to be there. Everybody that you work with, you don't have to feel, oh my God, it's rude not to invite people to my wedding. So let me invite everybody that I work with. You don't have to do that. So you really need to be more selective about who you're inviting to your wedding, keeping in mind that most people come to weddings just to speculate anyway. So if you want to save some money, cut the list down. Also, speaking of guest lists, everyone does not get a +1. Let me repeat this. Everyone at your wedding does not get or deserve a +1. So let's think about it. Your best friend you're inviting to the wedding, she wants to bring a date. Ma'am, this is not an opportunity for you to bring a date to someone you're dating, you just met. You don't even know the person. 3 years from now, you're looking through your pictures. And you're like, who is this person? You shouldn't be saying that when you're looking at your wedding pictures. When you look at your wedding picture in your video, you or your fiance should know every single person that's there. That's just the reality. So everyone does not get a +1. That's a great way to save money. Because you think about it, you have a guest list of 100. You give all of them a +1. You just doubled your budget. It's a lot of money. So that's another tip. So guys, just coming in, welcome to Save the Date with Travel Bae. We're talking about wedding tips and ways to save money when planning a wedding. If you guys are here, make sure you're spamming the comments with events, wedding, and party themed emojis, rings, hearts, flowers, champagne, any of those, feel free to plug those in there. Also, if you want to send gifts that are geared toward events, balloons, confetti, champagne, bursting hearts, and roses. So also, make sure you fave my #1 gift of the stream, which is Kim Kai. All right, so now we talked about those ways to save money. What's something else that we can do to save money? Not go with the cubic zirconia ring, sir. Honestly, let's ask the ladies, right? Let's say you want your honey wants to propose. He can't quite afford a ring. Would you be offended if someone proposed to you with a ring that was not a diamond? That's open to the ladies. How would you feel about that? She'll never know. You'll take your birthstone, which is a ruby. Okay. 10 carats, please. Oh, 10 carats. Texas is wants everything to be big in Texas. Understand? Okay. So here's the thing. I do know of people who have gotten engaged who did not get a diamond ring. Their ring was a cubic zirconia ring. They still planned the wedding, and the groom told her he would save for her a ring and give it to her on their first year anniversary. One of the couples I'm referring to has been married for like 20 years. They got married right out of college. He didn't have the money to buy a really nice ring. So I don't know. I think it depends. Like some people are like, very particular about certain things, and some people are more reasonable. Like if some people feel like if you're in it for the right reason, the ring shouldn't matter. But I think that's an individual thing. I also think you should know your partner. It's unreasonable to run. No, I'm not saying it's unreasonable. I'm saying there's some people that are a little bit more reasonable when it comes to like budget. Like they're a little bit more like cognizant of like money and like savings. So they don't really care that you go spend $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 on a ring. So yeah, and I think that's okay. I think again, you should definitely know your partner. If you have a partner that's kind of flashy, likes to buy herself nice things, has a lot of expensive like label things, you may not want to come in with a cubic zirconia because she's not 10, she's probably gonna get her ring appraised, and that's okay. And you're probably gonna get yourself in trouble. It's not about the ring, it's about the relationship, the marriage and the relationship. Yeah, that's true, but also some people look at it like, well, if you can't afford a nice ring, maybe you shouldn't be getting engaged. So, I think that's kind of one of those things we can kind of debate, but to each your own. Okay. Our next way of saving money for your wedding is an all-inclusive venue, right? There are some places that tell you For X amount of dollars, you get your wedding venue, you get your food, you get your cake, you get your decorations, you get a wedding officiant, and you get like access to, like, like have your wedding and your reception in the same venue. That is a great way to save money. And a lot of people do that. Sometimes people are a little nervous about places like that because they're like, man, how can I get all this stuff for this small amount of money? But do your research. Use Yep. Use Wedding Wire to find wedding reviews. You can always, okay, here's another tip. If you want to find out about a wedding venue, if you go on Facebook or Instagram and put the hashtag and put that wedding venue name in there, it usually will pop up things like if somebody's posted a comment, like a negative comment, and it may not be a review, but it may have been like on their personal page, or they may have commented on something that's like, don't use this venue. That's a great way for you to kind of get more information or insight on a certain wedding venue that you're considering. Definitely want to do your research. So that's another tip. If you're just coming in, guys, welcome to Save the Day with Travel Bae. We're talking about ways to save money on your big day. Another tip is thinking of venues that are not like typical, right? So most people think, you should have your wedding at a church, you should have your reception at a venue like a reception hall, something like that. Well, if you think outside the box, how would you feel about having your wedding at a library, having it at like a local park, a state park, or like a just like if you have a family member that has a nice yard, you could actually use a family member's yard. You use your own yard. You go to a beach. There's a lot of ways you can have a wedding that's not super expensive and oftentimes actually free. So that's one thing that you can consider. Would anyone in here be opposed to having their wedding at like a local city park? You want a reception center, a recreation center? Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Would anyone be open to a state park? Yes, a city park. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's a way to save money, but only thing you need to know is depends on the time of the year. Also depends on you. If you do something like that, you want to make sure that you've actually done your research. You've gone to this park enough times. You know the peak times. You know when it's kind of quiet. You know when the kids aren't out there and crazy. You know what days are good. You want to look at things like that. You don't want to go to a park and have a wedding at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday. Granted, every child in that city is going to be at that park playing, screaming, laughing, and running. So you definitely want to pick a time where there's, not a lot of kids there. You also got to look out for bugs. And also, you guys, this is something else I want to tell you. If you're going to go with the outside venue, one of the things that you need to budget is making sure that you hire a professional to come in and make sure that the grounds are secure. No one wants to be dressed up for a wedding and leaving being like with 1,000 ant bites or bug like mosquito bites. You can easily pay someone to come in and make sure that they've sprayed the grass and everything is like safe, so no one's getting like attacked by bugs for sure. Okay, so another thing when you're thinking about and yeah, it is. You will see, I had a underwater. You got married underwater in the Bahamas? Wow, that sounds exciting. You just message me on IG. I would love for you to come on the show, and I would love to hear about that. Yeah, I'm sure you have like pictures. That sounds super exciting. I would love to hear more about that for sure. My IG is in my bio. So guys, if you're just coming in again, welcome to Save the Day with Travel Bae. We're talking about ways to save money on your big day. Another tip, if you're thinking about reception, is you could have your reception at a restaurant instead of picking a venue, right? A lot of restaurants have a private room that you can rent out. And if you pay for a certain amount of food, a lot of times they don't actually even charge you to use the space. They'll allow you like 1 or 2 hours before to come in and decorate. So you can actually, save a lot of money. So because I like a lot of wedding venues in my area on the lower end are like $5,000 and up. So, and you have to pay for your food. So pick a place that already has food, already has alcohol, and you can set a budget to how much you want to spend for that. And then you just get the venue for free. Also, another place that does something similar to this is casinos. And you might think, a casino? I don't want to get married at a casino. That sounds cheesy. Trust me, casinos really cater to like banquets and things like that. So they have some of the nicest event spaces. The night, like ballrooms, you would be so surprised. They have like these gorgeous chandeliers. They're very tall because it's a casino. They already have tables and chairs. They already have dinnerware. They have all these things. And then if you purchase your food up to a certain amount, the venue is free. So that's another tip. If you're close to a casino, contact them and ask them about their event spaces. You'd be surprised how much money you can save doing that. Speaking of things like casinos and restaurants, you're thinking about food. You also need to think about a bar. How many people have been to a wedding and there was no alcohol at all? Put one of the comments if you've been to a wedding and there was no bar, there was no alcohol, and you felt away. Me personally, if I go to a wedding and there's not alcohol, I'm like, really? Why are we here? Are we celebrating or not? I just feel like there needs to be some champagne, there needs to be some wine or something. So one of the ways to save money when you're thinking about trying to have a bar is you don't have to have a full open bar. Your best friend's wedding had no alcohol. Okay, now, does your best friend drink? Because if your best friend doesn't drink, I can understand them choosing not to have alcohol. But respectfully, as a wedding planner, I always tell my brides, you want to give your guests an option, at least. You don't have to have a full open bar, but you could at least offer like beer or wine, or you could at least have like a champagne hour, or you can at least have like a signature drink. You can have like a happy hour. You could do something where guests do get a chance to have some alcohol. So guys, just coming in again, this is a feature show. It's called Save the Day with Travel Bae. Typically, I will be saying thank you to all the gifts. I'll be thanking everybody as they're walking into the stream, but we're not able to do that. So if this was a feature, I would say, oh my God, thank you so much, Diana, for the gift, but I can't. Okay, so with that being said, that's definitely a way to save money. You can do a signature drink, and you can do like a certain number. You can have the bartender know, listen, I only want to spend $500 at the bar. Once the 500 is spent, cut the bar off. And like you can allow. I don't really care for cash bars. I'll be honest. I think that is one of the tackiest things that you can do. If my brides tell me they want to do a cash bar, I will either tell them to cut the bar out entirely, or no, I just can't. I just don't think it's appropriate. Like a cash bar, if you've invited guests to a wedding, they've set aside time to be there to spend time with you. I just think cash bars are just not acceptable. That's just my opinion. To each their own. Okay, another way of saving money when planning a wedding is don't feel pressured to do it like big, right? Like, you want to outdo the next person and you want this huge party and you want to have all the bells and whistles. You don't have to do that. You can scale things back. You want to make sure that the wedding day is fun, your guests enjoyed themselves, and you're not in debt for the next couple of years trying to pay for a wedding that you couldn't afford. So you definitely don't want to do it too over the top. Okay. Another way to save money is don't be afraid to ask for help, right? A lot of us know talented people. If you have a friend that's not a professional, like, listen, when I say asking for help, I don't mean asking your friend that's a wedding planner to do it for free. That's offensive. I'm saying if you know someone that does something that she does like for a hobby or just for fun, you could ask them to help you with certain aspects. If you have a friend that's really like crafty, you'd be like, hey, do you mind helping me figure out something cute for my table, my centerpieces? Or let's say you have a friend who loves baking. Hey, do you have any tips for something I can do kind of different for my wedding cake? Things like that. So you can ask people for help and have them kind of help you save money. Another way to save money is not feel like you need to print everything, right? Like wedding invitations. This is 2022. You do not have to do paper wedding invitations where you're mailing them to people, wasting money on RSVP cards because most people don't send them back. You don't even have to do it. You don't have to print. First of all, do not even print wedding programs. No one cares. Like at my weddings, I actually do like one of the CV codes and have people scan it as they're coming into the event. You have the wedding program right there on your phone. If you want to look at it, you can. But you don't need to do that because no one's going to look. No one's going to keep it. At the end of the day, I'm picking up all these wedding programs and putting them in a trash can. So another way to save money is just cutting out all these print things that you're printing. You can do a really pretty wedding video announcement. You can do there's so many digital ways that you can do an invitation. It's very like nice and fancy, and people don't feel like you're like cutting out and like being cheap. Another way to save money is doing something borrowed. I paid like $400 for my wedding veil, And 5 of my friends have used my wedding veil. It's like our thing now. It's like, you're getting married, I'm going to use travel based veil. So it's just like a thing. It's like, if there's something that you can do to save money, and you have someone that, like, has something that you can borrow for, that's ways to save. Like, you just borrow their veil. You can even borrow a wedding dress. I know people who have borrowed a wedding dress. No one knows that your dress is borrowed. You look gorgeous. It's fine. We literally have the same here. Okay. Heavy on the. No, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. Okay. My wedding dress was gorgeous. I don't know why my younger sister is obsessed. She wants to wear my wedding dress. And I'm fine with it. My dress is preserved. It's in a box. It is available. So if somebody wanted to borrow like anything like that, I think it's perfectly fine. It saves you a lot of money. So that's definitely I think a way to save money for sure. Let's talk about like ways to save money, particularly when it comes to like the reception and your food, right? So of course, we would all love a sit down dinner where the fancy waiters come out and they serve your guest and everyone just sits there and be pretty and they just eat, cut their steak. That sounds nice, but it's not always in budget for everybody. So if you have to do something that's a little bit different, I tell people think stations. Think of like foods that are not super expensive. I say in the South, I can't tell you how many weddings I've been to where there's like barbecue. And that may sound kind of crazy, but trust me, it's a great way to save money. The food is filling. People are happy. They're eating, they're drinking, they're having a good old time. So that's a great way to save money, like picking something that is like not expensive. Pasta, inexpensive. You can think of something like a pasta station. You can do like a meat carving station. You can do like a potato bar. Potato bars are super cute and inexpensive. Potatoes don't cost a lot of money. So you think of like a mashed potato bar, sweet potatoes, and then you have like all the toppings like chicken, shrimp, cheese, gravy. For like the sweet potatoes, you can have like pecans, brown sugar, all these things. And it's super fancy. It looks fancy, but it's not that expensive. You know, if you're having a summer wedding, you could actually do like grilled foods, like you can do hamburgers, hot dogs. It sounds a little crazy, but you actually can make it feel themed. Where it's not like, oh my God, I was at a wedding and this is what we had. Like if you do it and you do it the right way, it can be cute. Um, so also, if you have to do a buffet, it's not our favorite, but if you have to do it, my suggestion is doing a self-serve buffet. You're thinking, well, no, if people serve themselves, they're going to eat more food. Listen, the plate can only hold so much food. So you do 2 buffet stations, self-serve, and on each side there's a serving utensil, right? So you have like a table, food in the middle, and then you have serving utensils on each side. So at one time, you have essentially 4 lines going at the same time. You can have 200 people, 4 lines at the buffet table. Within 20 minutes, everyone has eaten and sitting down. So that's another great tip when it comes to that. Um, BYOB, there are some venues you have to kind of look for them, but they're usually the unconventional venues, so that allow you to bring in your own alcohol. If they do, this is where I say make a huge container of a signature drink. Make it yourself, bring it in, and then just do like a bar where they just have like one drink where they're just getting it. And that's easy. And when I say BYOB, I don't mean let your guests bring their alcohol. I mean you bring it yourself. Troll is going to supply water. They're saying you should do small plates. Don't do small plates because people are going to end up using 2 plates, and you actually end up spending more money because most places you're having to rent the plates per cost. And so if you can do small plates, people are going to do 2. So just do a regular dinner plate. Let them put it on their plate and keep it moving. Let's see. Another way to save money is, let's see, when it comes to pictures, right? Photographers can be very expensive, but this is one of those things I tell people, if you're getting married, this is not one of the things that you should cut. I stand behind this and say this to anyone. A wedding photographer and a wedding videographer should not be cut out of your budget. Now you can maybe hire them for an hour. Some of them can be hired for less time. So they may be $4,000 for the day. But if you say, well, listen, I just want you for the wedding and a few pictures after. I want to pay you for 1 to 2 hours, and that can cut money for you. Also, if you keep in mind, there are some photographers who do videography as well. So you can always ask, is there an option for you to do both? And if they do, if they do, that's a great thing as well. Also, if you do like, Instagram, not Instagram, Snapchat has it where you can do a filter for your event. If you do a Snapchat filter, there's actually a way for you to go in at the end of the night and collect all the pictures that were posted to Snapchat for your event. And that's a great way for you to get like a lot of candid shots of things that you're probably not even going to see that are happening during your wedding and your reception, but you get to get those pictures and collect them. It's also important to do a hashtag where if anyone at your event posts on social media, like a post on Facebook, post on Instagram, Snapchat, they're going to post on TikTok. If they put your hashtag in, again, at the end of the night, if you search your hashtag, you'll find all of those pictures again. So hiring your photographer for 1 to 2 hours and then allowing your guests to help you collect a lot of candid pictures. Also, remind guests, hey guys, don't forget to take pictures. Don't forget to upload them, send them to me. And after the wedding and reception is over and you send out your thank you letter, your thank you notes, you may can even include that in your thank you note. Hey, if you took pictures of our special day, make sure to email them to us. So you can have all those pictures and that kind of saves you money. And another thing I'll tell you guys about when it comes to photography, who takes the best pictures at a wedding are little kids. Man, give a little kid a camera and just let them go to work. They catch all these things because they're at different angles. Like everything we see is higher up and kids see things that are lower. And so they catch these things during events that nobody else is going to be able to capture. So that's another great tool, is like giving a kid a camera and saying, hey, go take pictures for me. Trust me. Trust me, you're going to get some amazing pictures. Like some of the funniest things that, again, you're not even going to know are happening, but the kids will capture those. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys a lot of information, and I don't want to overwhelm anyone with all of that. So if you're here and you have a featured show, you can hop in the box during this time and plug your featured show and let people know when they can catch you and what time your show is. I don't know if I saw anyone in here that has a feature show, but if you're here, you can hop in the box and plug your show. Alrighty. It's the Rose Auction feature. Thank you, Texas, for that question. You guys, I am hosting a Rose Auction. I know you guys have heard of this before. I do it a lot. I think this is probably my 7th Rose Auction. It is going to be Friday, July the 8th for the ladies and Saturday, July 9th for the guys. It is a black tie event, which makes sense for me. You know, I like things to be a little fancy. All the guys are going to be in tuxedos or black suits, and all of the ladies are going to be in very nice attire. So you guys definitely want to be in my stream. It's going to start at 7 o'clock on Friday and 7:30 on Saturday. It's a lot of great streamers that are going to be in the auction. It'll be a great time for you to come and get some new faves to new people, check out who's who. So that's going to be coming up next month. Thank you for that. Texas is going to be wearing a swimsuit. I think she's going to get mixed up with the Hot Girl Summer auction, which I think just happened. All right. If you're just coming in, welcome to Say That with Charmaine. Don't forget to hit the star up top and favorite me. Also, make sure you fave my #1 gift of the stream. My #1 gifter is Diana. Hit Diana with the favorite. Hit Kim Kai with the favorite, and hit Beefy with the favorite. You're new here. You would like to recommend. Oh, okay. Well, Breezy. It's a feature show. We're talking about event planning, but feel free to hang out once the show is over. I'll definitely answer all your questions for sure. Okay. What did Hoop say? Okay. All right. Another tip to save money on your big day would definitely be do it yourself, right? There's things that you can DIY. You can cut money by doing some things that's outside of hiring someone professional. So you could come up with a really nice playlist. You can come up with a really nice playlist and play your music yourself. And then you don't have to hire a DJ. Because some of y'all DJs be trash. I was at a wedding not too long ago, and we were waiting for the bridal party to be announced, and the DJ could not get himself together. He kept telling the Wi-Fi was going out. He didn't have the songs already pre-downloaded. I was like, listen, I could do this on my iPad. You playing? So hey, consider that. Also, some of the DJs be trash and go hold you. But that's another thing to think about. Consider just playing your own music that cuts out the DJ. You could Okay, true story, right? For my wedding and my reception, I personally, okay, we did a pasta bar. We had three different pastas. We had salad, different types of bread, and it was like we could call it the tour of Italy. And I make this pasta. It's called chicken rotel. It's very simple, but it's like amazing, and people love it. So for my wedding, I was like, this is something that I'm really known for. I wanted to make my own one of my own dishes. So I actually made chicken rotel for my own wedding. My husband actually made stuffed shell pasta lasagna for the wedding, and one of my best friends actually made shrimp alfredo. We literally did our own food, like seriously. So the like literally now, I'm not telling you to do this if you're not a good cook. Cut it out, and But if you're like if you have someone in your family that does like amazing things, it's nothing wrong with hiring. Well, not hiring them, but paying for the food and having that person provide it. You just want to make sure that you have someone in place to be in charge of setting everything up for the rest, like for the food. But definitely, you can definitely do things yourself. If you want to consider like a wedding cake, you may think of like cupcakes or something that you can do yourself. So that's a way of saving money as well. So, guys, welcome to Save the Date with Travel Babe. If you're just coming in, I typically will be greeting each of you by saying hello. I'll be singing your entrance songs as I typically do, but it's a feature show, so I'm not allowed to do that. But I see you guys in the comments, and I appreciate you guys being here. If you want to if you want to send any gifts, think of event planning gifts, think of wedding gifts, flowers, roses, bursting hearts, champagne, the balloons, all of those gifts would be great. Okay, another thing we could think about. So we want to save money for the wedding, right? Okay, this is something that a lot of people don't think about, but I've done this a lot. A wedding cake, right, can cost anywhere on the low end, I would say $500. On the high end, the most expensive cake I've known about from one of my clients, I had a client that paid $3,500 for a wedding cake. It was nice, it was beautiful. She paid $3,500 for it. So, thinking of ways to cut your budget, if you actually do a fake cake, you're like, wait, what? This is a thing, people. People do this all the time. I own for myself, I have 4 different fake wedding cakes where I like it's just a basic cake. I add flowers to it. We change things up. We add like the ribbon and all of that. It's a staged cake. It's sitting there. It's pretty. It's gorgeous. It's a centerpiece. And when it's time for them to cut the cake, we have like something up there where they can actually cut a piece of it and eat it. But then we have the cake taken to the back to be cut, and then they bring out cake that's already pre-cut. And the cake that pre-cut is from Sam's or it's from your local grocery store that's really amazing, and no one knows the difference. So that's a great way to save money. Have the cake already pre-cut in the bag that you picked up from the local grocery store, and you just do a fake cake is staged. You just save thousands of dollars on a wedding cake and another thing to think about is most people have so much cake after the event that it's crazy. And also, just to be honest with you, like the groom's cake could definitely be a fake cake because nobody hardly ever eats the groom's cake. It ends up going home with the couple, and they end up throwing it away. Trust me. So you don't have to. That's money we're wasting that we don't even need to waste it for. Thank you guys very much for the event themed gifts. Your rose and your confettis. I see you. Okay, so that's a great way to cut money. Do a fake cake. That's my dream all day cake. Yeah, but do a fake cake. Have the caterers cut it in the back and just serve traditional store-bought cake. Also, if you want a real cake, let's say, oh my God, I don't want to do that for my cake. Walmart, Sam's, Costco, they actually sell wedding cakes. Kroger, and they're actually good. Like they're not like all this amazing. They're just simple 3-tier cakes. You could add some fresh flowers to it. You could add some ribbon to it. It looks perfectly fine. Trust me, they're like under $200 for these cakes. That's another way to save money, and they taste great. Just saying. I can. Okay. Trista got her wedding cake from Walmart. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Okay. Also, like I was telling you guys, think of something outside of a wedding cake. Have you ever? Okay, you can do cupcakes. People love a cupcake. I'm not going to hold you. People love a cute little cupcake That's something you can do to cut, saves a lot of money. Again, pick up 24 dozen cupcakes from Sam's for like what, $15. Just saying. I love a candy bar. When I first started doing events, candy bars were signature for me. Every event that I did had a candy bar. But then it's like people started doing it so much, I just kind of stopped. But I love a candy bar. I've done a popcorn bars. I've done an ice cream bar. Like for me, a party favor should be something people can eat. Because why give them something paper? Like people give them things with your picture on it. No one cares. No one wants your picture. Like I'm just being honest. It's gonna go in the trash. Give them something that they can eat. We got like cookies. You got like a cookie. So my best friend, her fiance was obsessed with cookies. So we did a milk and cookies bar. It was so cute. We did like the little small plastic containers of milk. And we had all these cookies oh my God, we had so many cookies from different places. It was super, super cute. You could do something like they could do a donut bar. I have a donut wall that is super cute. You can put the donuts on there. You can do like a champagne wall. All types of great ways. What can you do for kids? What do you mean? For kids to eat? Wait for typing. If you guys just coming in, welcome to Save Day with Travel. Make sure you guys hit the star up top and favorite me. We are this close to 24,900 faves. Like, can you get them to run, not to run? Oh, how can you get kids not to run around? Don't invite them. Yeah. Keep your kids at home. This is a wedding. It's a reception. We're spending a lot of money here. I don't even want your kids here. Again, we're talking about the guest list. The guest list is for you, not for you and your 6 kids. They're not invited. Tip is fine. Like it's nothing wrong with you having an adult only reception and be like it's I don't want to insult anyone. This is your money. This is your day. And you don't want a lot of but now I'm not gonna hold you. Kids do make weddings fun. Nobody's on the dance floor like the kids, baby. I'm telling you, they know all the hip dances. You like, dang, they be out there living it up. But my best friend got married in Pensacola a few weeks ago, and she has a huge family. They have a lot of kids, and it was horrible. They were running around nonstop. I was just like, where are the parents? Where were they? They were getting drunk. It was a lot. But I get it. Sometimes people feel like, well, I don't have childcare. Listen, if I send you a wedding invitation 8 months in advance and you can't find a babysitter within 8 months, don't worry about it, sweetheart. Just don't even come. It's fine. No, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I think it's okay. Like, you don't have to feel like you have to invite people's kids to be at your reception because they don't have to be. You can do like a kids table. I've done that before. But even with the kids table, it sounds fun in theory. But most parents at a wedding are not going to want to sit separately from their kids. They're going to want to sit with their kids to make sure they're eating, they're behaving. So you're doing a kids table, you end up just with a table, like an empty table. Now I did a reception for a NFL player, and his fiance, her family, they had a really big family, and she actually did a completely separate reception for the kids. It was so cute. She had it was probably like 40, it was close to 50 kids. After that, of course, their guest list was like close to 500. But she had like a room completely separate for the kids. There was we had carnival themed foods. They had their own little stuff. They paid for babysitters, like for staff to be in there with the kids. So it was like literally a drop-off situation. They weren't allowed out of the room. They had people supervising them. Now, of course, you got to have money for that. But that was a great thing. It was a lot of fun. And parents were actually able to come and enjoy themselves, let their hair down, and not worry about what their kids were doing. So something like that for sure. But that's something you can consider, but you got to kind of make sure you have the money for it. Okay. What else can you do to save money? Another thing that people talk about is eloping. So what are you guys' thoughts about just eloping? It's you and your fiance running away, getting married in Vegas. Remember we did the show in Vegas? I don't know if you guys were here. The show in Vegas was so much fun. Texas says immediately no. So would anyone in here be open to eloping? Yes or no, and why? And if I trust you and know you can take the box and actually tell us your answer. And don't worry, if you want to, you can do that. You would? Okay. Hoops and George. Top Batch George is who she's referring to. They're going to do that. Okay, great. GQ, thank you so much for coming in. I can't take the box this feature. Okay. I mean, listen. I know a lot of people who eloped and no one ever knew about it, and then they got married like months later. And they weren't as stressed during the wedding planning process because they were already married. Yeah, you waited for this moment too long. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like there's some people that literally dream of a wedding. They know what they want. They've been planning it already, and they want to have their moment, and that's perfectly fine. Weddings are way too expensive, but me being a part of that is I'm a part of the I'm a part of the community that likes the weddings to be expensive because that's what I do. So, but they can definitely be expensive. It is cheaper to elope, but it just depends. Like if you have a huge family, like some people's parents would be very offended if they weren't there. Meet you in Vegas. And listen, I did a show from Vegas once. This show was in Vegas this was last year, and we talked about how inexpensive it is to get married in Vegas. And it was like not all of the venues in Vegas are cheap. Like there are some really nice venues that will be like perfect for weddings for sure. Um, I was just about to ask you guys a question and totally slipped my mind. Man, what was I gonna ask you guys? Something about I cannot remember what it was. I'm so mad right now. My best friend's parents were not at her wedding. It was awkward. Yeah. Oh, I know I was gonna ask you guys. Okay, I know. Maybe you don't. I am a huge Keeping Up with the Kardashians fan. Do I have any other Kardashians lovers in the stream? I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Don't tell me it's just me. Okay, I only needed one person. Okay, listen. So on this season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, they're with Hulu now, right? So Kourtney Kardashian got engaged, and she has 4 kids by her ex-boyfriend, and the guy she was proposing to, Travis Barker, he was there with he proposed to her. His kids were there, and her kids were not there. It was a whole thing. And I felt, and so it brought up a debate about like how that was, if it was okay or not okay. So this kind of makes me. This is what I think about when I think about eloping. He proposed to her without her kids actually being there. I personally feel like in a blended family that is a huge no no. I thought that was one of the worst decisions her family ever made on behalf of her, because it was kind of up to them to get the kids there, and they make the decision last minute just not to bring them. So I think when I saw that episode, I was just like, why would anyone here think this was okay? So how would you guys feel if your guy proposed to you? Yeah, her kids were, you didn't see the episode. His kids were there. His 2 daughters were there and his son were there, all celebrating. I was hurt because my parents eloped without us knowing. Oh wow. Wait a minute. How old were you? Like 8? Oh. Oh. See, you have to think. I think you have to consider like how people would feel about you eloping. If I were to go and elope and my daughter wasn't there, listen, respectfully, I'm gonna be in trouble. My friend's man proposed to her only around his family, didn't have. Yeah, see, I think the proposal is just as important as the wedding. You either should do it by yourself with just the two of you, and that's fine. I think if it's just the two of you, that's perfectly fine. But if you include your family, like you shouldn't propose to your fiance at like a family reunion that only your family's there for. Like that moment should be shared by both sides of the family, so you have to be kind of careful with that for sure. But I think when it comes to eloping, you have to know your people, and you have to know if your family will be okay with it. I would feel weird coming home telling my mom I was married and like nobody was there. Because it almost feels like I know they do it to save money, but it's almost like why would you not want anyone there? Her dad was mad, I'm sure. Maybe Scott didn't want the kids there. No. Scott didn't even know about it. No, Scott didn't know about it. It was just, like her family was like, oh, I think it's something she can talk to the kids about. They're younger. Let her explain to them later. But her kids were offended by it. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes do cause drama. But at the same time, it's like, like you're trying to avoid the drama of certain special days if they're gonna be there anyway. So for me, I think I would definitely want my family to be there. I don't think I could elope. If I did elope, it would definitely be like my daughter would have to be with me for sure. So yeah. So if you guys just coming in, we just kind of went over some ways to save money on the big day. Um, just a quick little recap. We talked about off-season times, looking at event venues in December, January, picking non-traditional days like Friday and Sunday sometimes can save you 50% of the money that you spend at reception halls. We talked about oh, one thing we didn't talk about was flowers, right? So if you guys are having a wedding trying to save money, here's a tip. Places like Kroger, Walmart, Costco, and Sam's, you see those, they all have flower departments, right? They actually can order flowers and their associates can put them together for you. You can actually you can hire them to do wedding bouquets, centerpieces, and all that for you. And it's a lot less expensive than hiring a florist. And they have these huge coolers to store everything for you. You can pick your flowers up the morning of your wedding, have someone pick it up for you, and you have fresh flowers and you didn't have to spend as much money. Also, they can order, if you want to do your own flowers, you can order like roses. You can order anything that you want from these places as well. Just have to go in advance, and you don't have to pay for it until the day that you actually pick it up. True fact. When I do weddings, I order like certain flowers from Kroger all the time. I use my Kroger card. I save a lot of money on gas in the future months. So I picked up orders from Kroger, like $2,000 hydrangea orders that would have cost me anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000 at the local florist. So that's another great tip. Definitely look into places like Costco, Sam's, Walmart, Kroger for flowers. Other things we talked about that could save money is considering doing your own playlist, cutting back the time that you're going to hire your photographer and videographer, asking kids to take some pictures for you, making sure your guests are using your hashtag. So at the end of the night, you can get a collection of all the pictures that were taken. Think about having places at different reception places like restaurants. Consider having your wedding at a local or state park. Look at maybe a restaurant with a nice space for your reception. We talked about having doing a signature drink instead of a full open bar. We talked about not being pressured into having a full bar, an open bar, because it's not necessary. I did talk about when it comes to alcohol, if you can't afford to have a bar, I don't think it's appropriate to have a cash bar, but to each their own. But for me, that's always a no-no for me. I just think it's inappropriate. We talked about cutting money on paper, things like invitations and wedding programs. This is basic information. Thank you so much, Ginger, for that. Yeah. It's one of those things that it's still things that people may not think about. Also, we talked about asking for help. If you have someone, Ginger, please. If you have someone that can help you do things, consider being DIY. That's perfectly fine as well. But at the end of the day, there is no right or wrong way to do a wedding. People always say, well, how do you do this? Do you have to do this? You don't have to do anything. Your wedding is your wedding, and it can be personalized to you. If you want to not have a lot of kids at your wedding, it's not inappropriate to it's not inappropriate to not to have kids at your wedding. You don't want them there. Have an adult only reception. That's perfectly fine as well. All right. If we have any questions, you guys can feel free to put them in the comments. You guys make sure to keep in mind that I have 4 shows on the apps. Let me give you guys the rundown of those shows. 11 a.m. on Sundays, I have Love Letters to Grief. It is a show about grief journeys. I wrote a book about grief. I have people come on and share a letter about someone they've lost. That's every Sunday at 11. On Mondays at 7 o'clock EST PM, I do a show called Time to Sing. It is a fun game show where people try to see how much they know when it comes to music. On Wednesdays, I do 10 p.m. I do a show that I co-host with Weddington called Bad Advice for Travel Bae. It is hilarious. A lot of fun. That's at 10 o'clock. And of course, today's show, every Thursday, my feature show, Save the Day with Travel Bae at 2 p.m. EST. So make sure you're here for all of those. Again, if you haven't favored me, make sure you hit the star up top. Also, make sure you favor my number 1, 2, and 3 gifters. So other shows that I want to plug for you guys, if you're in the stream and you have a feature show, if you're working on a feature show, hit the box. You can plug those shows. Again, I'm hosting a rose auction Friday, July 8th for the ladies, Saturday, July 9th for the men. Make sure you guys are here for those as well. If you need someone to help you when it comes to feature shows or considering doing a feature show, Emoji J is in the comments. Hit him with the favorite. He records shows. He's great. He can help you with your shows. He's probably so booked up right now. He probably like, oh, do not plug my name, Travel. But he's a great person to go to if you need help. If you need help with that. So, y'all are so funny, these comments. But I do want to thank. I can't believe, so they don't have any new gifts out yet. I feel so offended. Usually my show is a staple for the new gifts. They're always available for my show. I'm so hurt. Ouch. Okay. So with that being said, next week's show, I'm working on a couple of things. I've been talking to a lot of couples that met on this app. So if you know someone who met on this app that wants to come on the show and talk about their dating journey, if they're planning to get engaged, if they're planning a wedding, we'd love to have them on. If you know someone that just recently got pregnant, wants to do a baby shower on the show, wants to talk about planning a baby shower, they want to do a gender reveal, I'll ask George, and I dated Waldo. Oh, that's awesome. You maybe want to ask both of them if they'd like to come on the show. I don't match make, but I think I should. I've actually been trying to. So this show is very interesting because like it's wedding planning, event planning, but it's like I also have to keep it interesting for people. So I've actually Aquaman. So I've been thinking about doing some other things that are a little different. So I think a matchmaking show would be a lot of fun, right? Okay, just let me know, Poppy, whenever y'all can. I understand. I think a matchmaking show would be a lot of fun. You would want to be on that, Beach Doll. Make sure you hit me on IG. So if I ever do, or make sure you follow my IG. Because if I do it, I typically try to plug those. I typically try to post it on my page and let people know that I'm looking for people, for sure. That'd be a lot of fun. Not box. Y'all are so funny. Sir, heavy on the no. Immediately no. Okay. So if you're just coming in, we're finishing up Save the Day with Travel Bae. Thank you guys for being here. Yes, Aquaman, this is my feature show. It's every Thursday at 2 p.m. So yeah, would you guys be interested in seeing a matchmaking show, like a little game on the show? I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay, so maybe we'll get that together and find oh, you know what I think is super fun? I don't know if you guys follow her. Her name is Kendra. She's on IG, Facebook, and YouTube. And she does this singles night where she has people pop in the box and tell about themselves. And then she's like, if you're interested in this person, message them on IG, like whatever. I think that's so cute. Yes, set me up with someone. Okay. Okay. Maybe I should post something on my IG and get a good number of single ladies and a good number of single guys and see what I can come up with. So what would we, let me see, what would we call it? Sign me up. Post it. I think that would be a lot of fun too. Thank you so much for the gifts, guys. Make sure you guys are hitting all of the gifts with a favorite. Also, guys, this is not necessarily about the show, but find love with travel. Finding love with travel. That'd be cute. Okay, thank you so much, Aquaman. So if you guys were in my stream the other night, you probably remember us hitting my 118 milli. And you probably are looking like, why do your numbers say 117.9? Because I'm in the negative over 100K. So hopefully we'll hit our 118 soon. Yeah. So we'll hit our 118 again. Divine was probably here like, wait a minute, did I take her 118 milli? Yes. Divine took it and they took it back. Is this the new gifts are here? Yay! What is that? Oh, it's given they're very hungry. It's a strolling ice cream cone. Got it. And a what? A Nyan bear? Oh, it's cute. Oh, that's cute. Not the flying some more. Why does it look so pixelated? Okay, sorry. Anyway. Thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate it. Typically, we do get to see the new gifts during my show for sure. Who is Divine? Glamour Girl Divine. She took my 118 milli. Red. Okay, so guys, listen. If you have a feature show that you want to hop in the box and plug, feel free to do so. Dr. Weddington is in the comments. She has a show on Saturdays that Look it up. Okay, I'll look it up. She has a feature show, or she has a show that was. There's a Glamour Girl right there. Glamour Girl Divine. She took my 118 milli, and they took it back. Oh my gosh, that's so cute! Shut up! Oh, that's so cute! Oh my gosh, what? OMG, that is amazing. Sorry, meet me. That is so cute. Oh my gosh, how much does that cost? I'm such a crybaby. Why am I okay? Get together, travel. That was cute. 2K. Wow, they better not ever take. Listen, they are gonna start some trouble. So you can. It's an exclusive. How? Or is it a VIP gift? Oh, wow. I love that. Super, super cute. Okay, get it together. All right. Shar is in the comment in the stream, you guys. Make sure to favorite Shar. She also has a feature show. It's called I don't know can't remember the name, but it's a tattoo show. If you have a tattoo, she's your person behind the ink. Okay, yes. Favorite her, message her on IG. She has a really cool feature show about tattoos. And I know a lot of y'all have tattoos. We want to hear the story about why you got the tattoo. That's a great person to have faith. Dr. Weddington has a show. She is her. So her show is it's a book club. If you love to read, message Emoji J if you want to be on. Okay, let me find out you admin. He actually records and admins. Message him if you want to be on Shar Show Behind the Ink. Dr. Weddington, right there in the comments. She has a book club. You like to read. You want to message. You want to fave her. Go to her show on Saturdays. Even if you haven't read the book, she does something that's really smart. She actually has people come on and they read some of the book together. That's her. That's putting hi friends in the comments. Yes, it says hi friends, and she's waving. That's her. You want to make sure that you wave her, and you like to read. Perfect. That'd be a great show. It's going to be soon. It's soon going to be featured. In her first feature, I'm going to be on there with my book, Love Letter to Grief. So yes, you guys can be ready. It's gonna be lit. Yes, you like to read? Okay, we love to see it. All right. If anybody else is here, you are? Yeah, absolutely. If anyone else is here that wants to plug a show or an event they have going on, I have an auction. Is my auction this weekend? I think so. Oh, Dr. Wayton wants to come in and talk to her friends, guys. Just 1 second. Just want to keep in mind that it's still featured for another 15 minutes. Hello, Dr. Weddington. How are you?
I'm great. So I won't say out loud what it said in the comment, but it didn't say friends, so y'all saw it. I do myself have an auction tomorrow at 7:25 p.m. EST, and I'm a really small.
You have more than one, right? You want to plug your shows?
Sure. On Monday, I have a show with Travel Bay called Time to Sing, where I judge from the comments. And yes. So, Travel, do you want to tell them what time our show is?
Mondays at 7. Yes.
Yeah, that's our show. And then on Tuesdays, I have story time with Dr. Weddington. On Wednesdays, I have another show with
Travel. What time is Tuesday show?
9:30 p.m.
Guys, listen, this coming Tuesday at 9:30, make sure you guys are in her stream. Her show is a lot of fun. She does a little role playing. It's a great show. Just be there. Go ahead.
Sorry, y'all. On Wednesdays, I have another show with Travel Bay called Bad Advice. Mm-hmm. And that is at 10 p.m. EST. And on Thursdays, tentatively, we'll see how it goes, I have another show that I'm hosting called Who Wants to Be Hood Rich? And then I have my show on Saturday at 1 p.m. EST called A Novel Idea.
Right.
Weddington.
Mm-hmm. He said, message me for bad advice. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Weddington. If anyone else is here that wants to hop in the box and plug their feature show, feel free to do so. Also, thank you guys so much. We did hit our 24,900 favorites. I'm so excited. We love to see it.
Can y'all fave me before I leave? Hi.
And would you hit Dr. Ways with a favorite? Also, please make sure that you guys are favoring my number 1, 2, and 3 gifters of the stream. Please. All right. Almost 25,000 favorites. Facts. Did I say her show for what? What do you mean? Okay. So thank you so much, Dr. Whittington, for hopping in the box, plugging your shows. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, yeah. No, I wasn't giving rundowns of shows. I was just letting people hop in the box and plug their shows. Thank you, Dr. Whittington. Okay. Thank you guys so much for the favorites. Again, don't forget, July 8th, July 9th, I'm hosting my rose auction. Fridays for the ladies, Saturdays for the, Fridays for the dresses, Saturdays for the tuxedos. I don't want to say ladies because I know for sure we have a couple of ladies on Saturday that are going to be rocking some tuxedos. So it's not just guy, girl. It's more so like what they're wearing. So I do have a battle. I am in Panda. Top Badge Panda is hosting a Top Badge Battle Royale at the end of the month. I'm in that. And I have an auction, I think this weekend, right? So, yes. Oh, also, Judge Jungle Court is back on Sunday. I'm not really sure if me and Role Model are still doing the show. I need to confirm that, but I think me and Role Model are doing Judge Jungle's show Sunday. Court is back in session. Possibly. We'll keep you posted. Okay. So we are for sure doing the show Sunday. I don't remember what time, but just be on the lookout. We're going to be doing Judge Jungle's show. It's a lot of fun. His show is a hit. Like he has one of the funniest shows on the app for sure. Also tonight at 10 p.m. EST, Role Model Fresh's show is acting out Role Model Fresh. If you guys want to check that out, it's improv, hilarious. If you're new to